So, I can delete this live stream. We can start another one if you start from the beginning.
That'll work. Hey, do we have? Hey, just keep it going. So, are we live now? Can people hear it?
Sure.
Can you hear me talking? We have sound? Okay, good. We have sound. Okay, great. Okay, so we're working now. Okay, go back to the beginning of the slide here, and we're going to go ahead and start. Redo. Redo. So we're going to go ahead and restart that. Okay, and what we're going to do now is, again, I'm going to introduce myself. Ramon Azab, a.k.a. Remon with the Alliance. We have with us some of the usual suspects here. Cheeky Cutie.
Hey, guys.
We've got Omega Shenron. We've got Marth Vader.
Hey, everybody.
We've got Lotion here. Lotion Lightstrider. We've got McLeod.
How's it going?
So now the sound's good. I'm excited to see that. Now, for those of you that don't know, okay, obviously we were on a pretty popular live stream for quite some time now, and we had to go ahead and make a move into a different community because it was beneficial for the majority, and a good portion of the Team Skunk community moved over into the Alliance, and now we have over 40 guilds that are with us in the Alliance. There's still a Team Skunk as well. That's they're going strong as well. But like I said, a portion of us moved over and started a new community called the Alliance, and we're going to be streaming regularly, just like we used to. We're going to be bringing out content. We just actually launched a website. It's at thealliancegaming.com. Again, that's www.thealliancegaming.com. You want to go ahead and check that out. But that's where you're going to be able to find links to our Discord. If you'd like to join one of our many guilds, you'll be able to find guides for the AAT raid and the Rancor raid. You'll be able to find updated news on new characters that just came out. You'll be able to find different blogs from some of the members of the Alliance that want to share some of their thoughts on upcoming characters and the state of the game currently. Thanks to a great effort by the website team, working really hard to get that out as quick as possible. They were able to do that, and we launched, I believe, it was yesterday. So yesterday we launched the AllianceGaming.com. Go check that out. Again, if you guys are looking for a guild, we have over 40 guilds now, and we're going strong. We're going to be pumping out content weekly. We're going to be doing the live show every Friday at 8:30. Just like we used to, and we'll be putting out videos just like we used to. So, really looking forward to all the new stuff. Now, first and foremost, to get the show kicked off here, I wanted to go ahead and go over this. We were, obviously away from the show for a couple of weeks, so the only update we have recently was the one on the 21st of March. So I want to go ahead and take a look at that. Now, obviously, we all know that Zeb and Ezra and Sabine, they announced all their events on the 20th. Have Ezra Bridger, for now Sabine that's left, and obviously we've all seen how these events roll out. So we're going to get 4 tiers, and we're going to unlock the characters at 3 stars, and then you have the ability to purchase a pack, like a booster pack, and then individual packs to try to level the character up to 7 stars if you wish. Of course, that's going to be a little bit of an expensive venture. The pricing for the packs has definitely increased significantly over the last few months in comparison to the old Erodium packs. I miss those Erodium packs now. But we also have, in really cool news, the move to free-to-play for some of the more recent pay-to-play characters. So we had Biston, that was already farmable in the ship or the fleet arena now moved to the Cantina Battle Store. Baze Malbus moved to Light Side Battle 9C hard node, and a lot of people are kind of disappointed about that, hoping that Baze would be a little bit easier to attain, but he gets one hard node. So that's Baze Malbus. K2SO moves to the Galactic War Store. I would have bet every dollar I ever made that was going to happen. And Jin Urso moves to the Guild Store. Cassian moves to the Squad Arena Store. And Chirrut moves to the Fleet Store. Okay, so now all these Rogue One characters are farmable, so you can put together the team. They're actually still a pretty viable team in a lot of the game modes right now. So you can still use this team in Arena. You can still use this team in the raids. You can use this team for all types of PvE content, including Galactic War. So it's a great team to get together, and now you can get them all for free. Seems to be that they're actually following this cadence now that they announced a few weeks back that they were going to actually release these characters in a certain set amount of time. So, 4 to 6 weeks for them to go from the initial pack release to some sort of a chromium pack or into the actual PvE shipments, so you can farm them with crystals every day, and then an additional 4 to 6 weeks to get them put into a free-to-play node for you to farm them with energy or with some sort of currency that's free in the game. So it seems like they're following that. So I mean, right now I'm pretty excited about that. Looking forward to seeing Death Trooper, Krennic, Nihilus, Sith Assassin, and all these characters become farmable somewhere as well here pretty soon. Obviously, they moved Nihilus and Sith Trooper and Assassin all in the chromium packs now, so they're the characters that are farmable from the shipments with the crystals. And if we wait about, I'd say this was about 2 weeks ago, so let's say about another 2 weeks, about another 4 weeks, they should be moving to somewhere that's farmable as well if they continue with the cadence that they announced. So we'll look forward to see what happens with that. There were a few bug fixes. They fixed the missing explosions on Scarecrow Pathfinder's ability. They fixed the typo. And really just small changes. They announced that the April daily login character is going to be POW. For those of you that don't know, I get some insider info. POW is OP. So I think that you should put all your marbles into the POW basket. What do you guys think about that?
Is that a troll?
That's a super troll. I think personally that POW is EA's form of April Fools. I think that POW is our April Fools. That's why he's our daily login character for April. I don't know what you guys think about it, but to me, he has like a Zeta that I think does nothing. Like he has Zeta that that gives you like bonus, like what is it, like bonus turn meter or something? I don't know. Anyway, we're also going to get the Star Wars Celebration coming up next month, they announced, and that's really cool because we can look forward to probably a small featurette or a small teaser for the Last Jedi film that's going to be coming. And I'm sure since SWGOH, Capital Games is going to be there, that they're going to have some sort of a reel put together for upcoming content in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So if you don't remember, last year at this event was where we found out and got to see our first shots of the upcoming raid, the AAT raid at that time. We had to wait many months after that to actually get the raid. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I believe it's 14th through the 16th, we'll actually get to see some footage maybe of upcoming stuff. We got to see our first looks at R2-D2 last year at that. So definitely looking forward to that and hoping that they can release some sort of a hint or some sort of a sneak peek at upcoming content, because I mean, man, oh man, do we need some sort of a new event or some sort of a new challenge. I'm just getting sick and tired of only getting 3-star characters every other week. I think we need to have some new game modes or a new raid or something needs to come out. Maybe add some content to ships, because really all we have in ships right now is Arena. I don't know, but there definitely needs to be a large update that comes out, because we haven't gotten anything really since we're looking at probably like November. And before that was really ships, which is a whole new game, and before that it was the raid. So we need something new for sure. Now, moving along here, I believe our next segment is going to be the meta report. So we have good old McLeod with us here. That's going to take us into the meta report. McLeod, what do we have going on?
Well, like you said, we've been away for a while, so we don't really have a comparison going on because that would have been a few weeks ago. But if you just want to look at the current state of play of where things are at, let's have a look. I think what we're seeing at the moment is the overwhelming era of Darth Maul. I mean, that is like half the pie chart right there. He's nearly like 50% of all the top 10 leaders at rank number 1 is Darth Maul. So to counter him, I guess the reason he's number 2 is Rex coming in there at number 2. And right behind him, you still got Wedge hanging on there with the Rebels, just, for that serious DPS there. So that's what we got going on with the leaders at the moment. We got
he actually had this up at that time. So can you bring up the leaders list and let's just look at that real quick so we can see that, and then we'll go back.
I just switched it. It actually, so we're on what he's talking about.
Oh my God, Darth Maul is taking up half the pie. Oh my God, that is
what is going on. That's what we missed in the last 2 weeks.
How did so many people get Darth Maul? He was pay to play like a couple of weeks ago, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, all these people.
He's turning up in...
basically gave him to everybody. Everyone got him at that point.
Up in fleet shipments. Maybe a lot of people had him, just never leveled him up because he was getting given away in a couple of those packs earlier on. So...
That's crazy. That's crazy.
He did have a booster pack too. They did sell a booster pack for him recently.
Yeah, so a lot of people just kind of had him hanging around just because they liked the character, but just never invested because they never got that far early game, or he was halfway there. I know I had him for a very long time, kind of sitting at level 60 something back when that was the cap, and then just never really used him for much. But that is overwhelming kind of Darth Maul era.
I've never seen that before.
We've never seen dominance like that. It's kind of crazy. It's just that huge chunk of the pie. It really kind of shows you exactly how valuable he is right now and how much of a meta he's creating. And I don't know how it's playing out across everyone else's server, but it's pretty dominant.
I thought I was seeing a lot more Rex, but I mean, I can't believe he's back to being that valuable, that being that heavily used again.
Yeah, you're seeing Rex come back probably just to counter that because there's, I guess there's no real way to counter that with all the if you got people who've managed to level up all those other Sith, then you need some kind of dispel and the tenacity up. I mean, right now I'm personally on my server, I'm holding out with my Wedge combo and my Chase combo. There, I'm lucky enough to max them out, 7-star them all, and have reasonably good mods.
Awesome.
So you can get through it. You just have to figure out the order of the random teams that people throw around Darth Maul. But it can be done. I still haven't pulled the trigger on a Zeta, so I've managed to not have to do that. But at some point, I think I'm in the background. I'm silently building up something based around Darth, and he may be the first one I drop my first Zeta on as soon as it becomes no longer viable to just keep powering through with the Rebels. But speaking of the Rebels, like right at the tail end there, Jyn Erso's come up, and I guess this points out to the news that the Rogue One character is now farmable. People are managing to finish off that Jyn Erso out of the, I believe it's the raid store. So yeah, you can use your currency on that. It comes up reasonably frequently.
Yeah, she comes
in there right at the bottom. Yeah,
she comes in, and what was really interesting is to see how far he was really dominant there for a little while, and I'm starting to look at Nihilus. I mean, I'm kind of shocked. Right? Look at all those Nihilus leads. I mean, Nihilus is ahead of Boba Fett right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's really tightly packed, obviously, because so much of it goes towards basically like 3/4 of the meta is Darth Maul and Rex, and Wedge and Darth Vader kind of take a large chunk, and then you only got like this tiny little slice for the rest of them, and weirdly enough, Darth Nihilus is in there. obviously he's a little OP depending on how good your server is and what everyone else is using, but he's reasonably viable, and if anyone dropped kind of all their resources and datas towards him, then they're going to want to stick with him for a while. But I guess that's what we'll see as we go kind of more frequent and weekly with these shows now. We'll be able to see the comparison as to where he ends up in terms of a leader.
I think his leader ability is missing something. It's a good leader. Right?
Yeah, it's not as dominant as Darth Maul seems to be. It's not as OP as everyone was fearing that it would be. Obviously, a lot of people dumped in a lot of resources early. A few of the whales obviously 7-starred him right away out of those packs, and fortunately hasn't proved to be completely all dominating. I think the Rogue One characters like.
I think most Earth Nihilist people are on your newer servers that don't have the Zetas yet. A lot of your new servers, they were the first epic character that they got, so they run them as the lead because they don't have anything better at this time. I think that's what the large percentage of that.
Yeah, obviously we don't know where the pool's coming from all the registered users, how early their server is, or where it's at. So that's probably why you see things like that, or for people who haven't quite managed to get their ships up and got Zetas in. So, I think the reason you're seeing so many Darth Mauls, it's the Zeta ability. It's brought so many more people into the top 20, top 10 competing in your shards, just because it accelerates your ability to get yourself into those spots. And if you use your refreshes or you just tactically manage to get in at the right time, you can drag yourself way up into the top 3 spots just because of the Zeta from Maul if you got a reasonable crew supporting it.
Oh, sure.
Artificially kind of brought people up.
Well,
yeah.
What's really key about the Rex lead is this, right? Because right now, if you have a really fast Sith assassin, and you have a really fast, if you have a really fast Sith team, nobody's faster than the Sith right now. So the only thing that you can do to counter that is getting turn meter from crits like Rex does. So like when you attack that team with an AoE, there's a chance that they all might get 100% turn meter, right? So that's really the reason that Rex is a great counter to that team, because if you can't beat him with speed, the only way you can beat him is with TM. So, that's why the direct counter to like a really fast team is always going to be turn meter manipulation. And Rex's leader ability is that to a T. So that's really, I think, the main reason we're seeing a lot of Rex now, and I'm seeing my boy Qui-Gon Jinn creeping up there too. Qui-Gon Jinn, baby.
Yeah, again, the thing with this meta, it's proven that the Zeta kind of artificially jumps you ahead of the queue, because overnight when people start battling down, the people who are challenging for those top spots around payout, they drop down to just outside the top 20 or just inside that, and way outside the top 10. So they're easily beatable. It's just a case of doing it at the right time for your payout. But things like the Wigs combo, apart from just having Rex and that kind of way, the way I'm still powering through with my Rebels is just survivability. I got a little bit of tenacity on people like the Wigs combo, because Biggs will obviously get that turn meter as well when he gets hit with a crit, and obviously when they get buffs up, then your base Malbus will come in as well and get the extra turn meter. So if you can survive, I literally don't have enough speed mods to be quicker than any of the Sith teams, and even if you did, they're quicker anyway. So you just have to survive that opening salvo, and base tends to soak it up, all the initial damage, and then you get the stuns from all the Palpatines and things like that. If you can survive that first wave and then attack them back, they've burnt their specials, and you've got a couple rounds to take them out before they really seriously start coming back at you. So it's interesting right now. There's loads of teams that you can throw around Darth Maul. There's loads of teams you can throw around your General Kenobis, or you can even switch them up. It's not a case of like dark side versus light side now. You're starting to see a mix of probably the most optimal team is some kind of mix between Darth and General Kenobi. So, and people are definitely using the Chays and the Wigs here and there as well, just because they survive, they're annoying, they have turn meter manipulation, and they bring themselves back in terms of getting their HP back. So it's interesting. We're going to see where it's going to go, especially with all the Rebels coming in now that they're farmable. They are viable. They will take out a full Rogue One team, will take out a Darth Maul-led team. depending on how powered up they are and how good you are with your tactics during the match. But it's all viable right now, so it's going to be very interesting in terms of what goes on with the meta in the next few months here.
This is one of those times where, I mean, this is the only time I've ever any faction, and kind of, with the exception of some, of course, you can't run an Ewok team or a Tusken team or anything like that. But I mean, you could run a Sith team, you could run a Jedi team, you could run a Rebel team, you could run a couple of different variations of a Rebel team. You could run, you could run a clone team. I mean, you could run a lot of different teams right now and get it done. I mean, and in some cases, it may not necessarily get you to rank 1 or anything like that. I mean, obviously, you can see how dominant Darth Maul is at the moment, but you actually have a viability with a lot of different teams, and you could just do a mishmash team of a Boba Fett lead with, a bunch of high damage characters that just get an increase in crit damage from the Boba lead. And you could do that too. So, I mean, it's really cool to see where it's at right now.
Yeah, but, and then there's, if we want to go to the squad members, if we can get that chart thrown up there.
Yeah, get the squad members up. Let's go there.
Yeah, I mean, what we'll see is you get anomalies like Kylo Ren with their Zeta as well. I was just burning off my final matches before it ticked over for the day, and a Kylo Ren took out my Baze Mabus and Chirrut Imwe by himself, and I think he took down my B2 battle droid as well. So you get the right RNG, Kylo Ren will do you some serious damage all by himself, and you can pretty much throw anyone around him as well. So he's creeping in there in the number 9 spot. Darth Vader has dropped all the way down to 10. And what you're seeing with this squad member here is there used to be that whole balance thing where we'd have a large chunk for the top 3 and then very tiny little chunks for everyone else down in kind of like the 10 to 5 spots. But it's a pretty even wheel. I mean, no one really has more than about 15-20% of this pie chart here. And that's because the viability of all these new leads and all these Zetas. So you can throw in a lot of different combinations, and they're all viable. I mean, if we want to play it out here, it's like Darth Nihilus is right now the number 1 for useful squad members because he's utility. You can throw him in there anywhere you like. Kylo Ren is probably only lower down this list because his gear is insane. It's probably as bad as a General Kenobi, who's like the original Carbon-T thief. So he's going to take a while for everyone to gear up or even attain if newer players to the game never got Kylo Ren in that Star Wars Force Awakens season kind of era, then they're not going to have him. So it's going to take a while for Kylo Ren to come through, but I think he will. We'll keep an eye on that because he's slowly coming up and he is dangerous. He can take out almost a whole team by himself if RNG's going against you. And obviously, if you're controlling him, then you're way more intelligent than the AI. You can do a lot of damage with him. Palpatine's made a bit of a return. He's obviously really useful under a Darth Maul lead. And then Darth Maul is in there at number 3 because obviously people are still sticking to their beta leads and some other comps that they want to do. But again, utility. You can throw pretty much any of these characters in with any of the others, and they'll all do you damage. There's no one single best way to do things anymore because all the Zetas have made pretty much everyone viable in almost any comp. You don't have to stick with one particular faction anymore. So it's going to be very interesting as we go forward here with these shows over the weeks to see how the squad makeup will be and who's going to possibly knock Darth Maul off his top spot. But that's where we're at right now with the meta.
But it's pretty. Thank you very much, McLeod. And again, Mac Media for the meta report here for us. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Now, as far as the pie though, look at it. I mean, if you kind of cut out a little bit of Darth Nihilus and give it to Darth Vader, it's almost like a pizza pie. Right, I mean, it's like literally, there's so many. It's very equal, right? Like you're talking about, okay, 800 for Palpatine, 800 for Maul, 750 for Kenobi, 630 for Malbus, 552 for Chirrut. I mean, it's really not. It's pretty evenly spread, and they're all different types of characters. I mean, like you got rebels, and
there's no little tiny amount of like odd things hanging on here now. I think it's kind of settled to the point where everyone's got a chance to farm up and gear up, and the meta in a way is established in terms of which are at the top there within the top 10. It's just how people use them is no longer a fixed thing. It's so fluid these days that you can throw in any comp you want. So it's a very even spread in terms of the members.
Absolutely. All right, now we're going to move on to our top 10 list and be our top 10 by Cheeky Cutie.
Woohoo.
So this is going to be, I believe, our top 10. This is very relevant to the conversation we were actually just having. It's going to be the top 10 characters to use with Zeta Maul. So
Yeah. Top 10 arena characters to run with as Zeta Maul.
Okay, Cheeky, make it happen.
So, yeah, the arena meta has been overrun with Sith, and the most successful teams use a Zeta Maul lead to frustrate and destroy their opponents. Maul's lead gives Sith allies 20% evasion, 20% turn meter, and stealth for 1 turn at the start of the encounter. Stealth whenever they evade or are critically hit, and both crit hit immunity when stealthed, and advantage when stealth expires. That is a lot of stuff for one leader. Once you decide to invest all those hard-earned Zetas, who should you bring with Maul to dominate your shard? So, number 10, Zeta Dooku. Dooku with his Zeta is now countering with increased damage and gaining protection for each hit. His special attack now stuns and applies shock to bypass a tricky taunt. Combine him with the Zeta Maul for crit hit immunity, and your opponent will be wishing they could attack almost anyone else. Number 9, Chirrut. Chirrut alone would not make the list, but if you have number 7 already established on your Maul team, he is an excellent addition. His cleanse, retribution, and constant group heal are solid, and his special attack is guaranteed to be buffed with all your stealth allies. Now that he is farmable, you can work on that 7-star grind. Number 8, Sith Trooper. Sith Trooper is a wall. He has 100% defense and is unique and gains defense up whenever a Sith ally uses a special ability or falls below 50% health. Combine that with a passive taunt, protection up, self-buffing, offense and defense down, and even passive retribution, and you have a perfect support tank to beef up your Sith team. Number 7, Baze Malbus. An auto taunt who starts the match with taunt and retribution, inflicts speed down on his basic and his AoE dispel. His single target dispel can peel retribution off Kylo Ren, taunt of General Kenobi, or taunt and retribution off the opponent's base. Number 6, Sith Assassin. A buffing turn meter manipulating stunner with a high damage special attack. Sith Assassin requires Sith to be special. Combined with the turn meter, stealth, and evasion of a Zeta Maul lead, and you have a beast of an offense weapon that will put out some huge damage and make all your other Sith go much more frequently. Number 5, General Kenobi. He auto-taunts, calls massive assists for damage, and even cleanses all those pesky B2 buff immunity and healing immunity debuffs on your team. What more could you ask? Make him a Sith, and he would be even higher on this list. Too bad he and Maul could not be this effective as a team in the rest of the Star Wars universe. Number 4, Zeta Darth Sidious. Darth Sidious is a fragile and fast Sith attacker, but when you add his Zeta, he becomes a beast. With a huge health pool boost equal to his potency, plus 50% potency and 100% turn meter gain when a unit is defeated. And if you are a Jedi, just pick another target as he evades and stealths for days. Number 3, Darth Nihilus. His AoE cooldown increase can force your opponent to basic attack right out of the gate, and a single target execute can put down that pesky Baze, Boba, or Kenobi. His huge health and protection pool mean that he will take quite some time to beat, especially if he is evading and stealthing. Number 2, Zeta Kylo Ren. The Zeta ability on Kylo's special attack increases its damage by 15% and allows this attack to recover protection equal to damage dealt. This huge bump in survivability, combined with his spam AoE with turn meter gain and enormous health and protection pool, make him a beast on this team. He may not benefit directly from the Maul leadership, but when the entire squad is stealthed and your opponent has to attack Kylo with retribution, he will chew through them. And number 1, Emperor Palpatine. Emperor Palpatine's AoE stun just goes further under Zeta Maul lead. Nothing turns the tide of an arena match faster than a group stun. By the time your opponent wakes up, they may very well have run less or more characters alive. So, final thoughts. The Zeta Maul team is here to stay. Gear up your Maul and Zeta him, and then try out some new and interesting combinations looking for survivability, burst damage, and synergy. Even some of the Phoenix characters could be very effective when paired with a stealth Sith squad.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's a pretty good list. I mean, kind of surprised to see Zeta Dooku so low on the list, but I mean, I think the other characters make sense. I mean, you think about Sith Trooper. I actually got a guy on my shard right now running a Sith Trooper, and he's pretty good. I mean, at first, when he first rolled him out, I guess he was maybe like gear 10, and he just didn't have all the all the mods maxed out and everything. But now that I face him like gear 11 all maxed out, he's actually really, really good. And Sith Assassin's great too. But Zeta Kylo is the boss. I mean, Zeta Kylo, you can basically run him on almost any team right now. I mean, he's just so good. That protection regen is just insane. I mean, I've had circumstances where I've been literally just Kylo versus 3, and I win. Because it's like, I just keep regenerating my protection. I mean, if they have no heal and I have Kylo, it's me. Right, as long as it's not like overwhelming odds where it's like 5 versus 1. I mean, if it's like 2 versus 1 or 3 versus 1, there's a good shot that Kylo's going to pull it out. So he's a great character. I wish he worked as well on defense, because I think that he needs to use that ability all the time when it's available. Like, the protection regen should be used every single time if possible, unless there's only certain circumstances where maybe if there's a taunt up or where I'll use that AoE attack, but almost every other time I'm using the protection regen, just keeping him at full protection for as long as I can. But thank you very much, Cheeky. A very riveting top 10.
It's on that.
I think we have somebody from the sounds like somebody from the past is coming out to the show here. Who's this?
Darktron's in the house.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Darktron!
No. Darktron.
I am really, really surprised Oppress is not on this list. Oppress is really a really good character. He does a lot of damage. His health over time just keeps on going. And I'm surprised he's not on this list.
For once in my
life, put him on the list. Where would he go?
On this, it's absolutely absurd, but I am actually with him on this one. With that insta kill, pretty much, if you're under half health, and the insane amount of defense that he gets under a Maul lead, he's just ridiculous.
And the buffs he gets too.
Yeah, that's true.
And like, me seeing Chirrut and Baze in there, I was like, they're not part of the Sith meta. They're just part of the fillers, basically. That's who they are, the fillers.
And thank you, Darktron. Now let's move on to the Q&A.
Throw him in the ocean.
No, seriously though, Darktron, we all have this show, but sometime soon we're going to have a segment called "To Throw It in the Ocean or Not." Okay, and you and I are doing this, and it's going to be like, I'm just going to read a list to you. I'm going to be like Zeta Kylo, and you're going to be like, throw it in the ocean. And I'm going to be like, okay, let's Chirpatine in phase 3 of the AAT raid. Throw it in the ocean, and I'm just gonna give you a list of 5 things, and you're gonna tell me throw it in the ocean or don't throw it in the ocean. Okay.
Well, certain characters go to certain places, and certain characters don't. So.
All right. Now, remember, guys. If you have any questions, chat, and we'll try to get them answered here on the show. We're gonna go ahead and bring on who has compiled some questions for us from people in the community and also from the live show chat so far today. Maurice, what's going on? Okay, Maurice.
What's up, guys? Maurice here.
Good old Mo. The golden chinchilla, Maurice. Good old Maurice.
Yes, sir. You guys ready for some good questions?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
We're ready.
Give them to me.
First up, this was from Drew Dog. There are 6 Phoenix characters, but you can only use 5 for the arena. Which one do you exclude?
Chopper.
Kanan.
Wow, that's bold. Yeah, I mean, he has 95 speed. I mean, that would make sense. He's probably I mean, there's something to think about there. What do you guys think, Cheeky? What do you think? Who?
You do not want to know my opinion.
Okay. So, any other thoughts? Which one of the 6 do you not run in arena?
Doctron, which one would you throw into the ocean?
Yeah, which one would you throw into the ocean, Doctor?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, next question.
All right, next question. This one's from Raider's Son. Do you guys have any advice on how to beat the final tier of the Ackbar ship challenge? Which lineups did you guys use?
The final tier of the Ackbar ship challenge. I got to tell you, I have still not done it. And if you guys have any advice, please give it to me because I'm.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like it's the hardest damn thing in the game.
I figured Remon was the only one that had cleared it by now.
No, I have not done this. I mean, it is not easy. It's like for some,
Yeah, it's one of those weird kind of things because I know a lot of people said they just can't do it, and when I did it with ships that were around level 60, 65, and somehow pulled it out. So
For the 6-star challenge.
Yeah, the final one to get the 6-star on Admiral Ackbar Home 1, I did it, and they were nowhere near maxed out. They were pretty low.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You must have got really good RNG.
I caught amazing RNG. I mean, I went through it quite a few times. I realized I needed to at least put a couple more stars on a few of the ships. But then I got through it, and I had maybe a couple ships around 80, and the rest of the ships were 65, between 65 and 80. I think the lowest ship I had was about 65.
Remon can't do it with maxed out ships.
I don't know what it was. It's
well, I have a lot of maxed out dark side ships. That's really my issue. I like
that is probably it.
my light side ships are not that great. You have clones, right? You have like maxed out.
I did end up having. Let me see. My lineup was the Wigs combo. Had it would have been Ahsoka ship, and Jedi Consular, and then and the clones.
So for me, when I did it, I had to switch to. I had to add Scimitar, Ahsoka's ship, Plo Koon's ship, and those 3 were the key ones for me to be able to meet the Ackbar challenge.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Can you use dark side ships or that? I thought it was exclusively light side ships only.
It's only light side ships.
Okay, so skip Scimitar. I mean, the others were the 2 that were critical were Ahsoka and Plo Koon's.
When you do the challenge, you want to use Rex's ship, Plo Koon's ship, and Jedi Counselor ship on your main team. You want protection up ships. Ahsoka's good because she can dispel the constant buffs. Or in the order you want to kill the enemy in is usually you want to take out their Rex's ship first before any of your ships die. Otherwise, you want to retreat and retry. That's what I do. And then after you kill Rex's ship, you want to take down Ahsoka and then Jedi Counselor on the enemy. And then you work on the clone sergeants. That's how you do it usually.
It's a real specific order that you want to do it in. If you're lucky, they don't keep throwing in extra Jedi Consular ships. That's what really kills you because they just have so much over.
You want to make sure you take out Rex first.
If you get that, if they already have like 2 of them sitting there in the fleet, and then another one comes in back, just back out and try again until they start. The best one you get is when they keep throwing in clone sergeant ships. Although they'll do some damage, they don't really assist any of the other ships. They can be a bit annoying because they can regen their own protection, but they're so much easier to deal with than a fleet of Jedi Counselors that will buff everybody. So, because their call assist does a lot of damage too, whereas the clone sergeant ship will only do his max damage to you 1 time out of 3 turns per it regens. So if you're getting those, just back out. It's not going to happen. You want to avoid a fleet full of Jedi consular ships on that challenge.
Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, I haven't gotten there now, and some, my Rex ship to get them up and ready so I can get there, because that would really help out a lot. But I'm also working on, leveling up some of the other capital ships too, like Tarkin's ship and Mace's ship. So, we'll see what happens. But my dark side ships are really good.
No, I have some good light side ships, and I'm not able to do it either.
Yeah, it's really hard. All right, next question.
All right, next question. This one's from Jagcat. Who do you guys feel is the best all-around character in the game? This includes Arena, Galactic War, Raid, and I guess a ship with a pilot.
Kenobi.
Zeta Kylo Ren. He can pretty much solo a single phase of heroic by himself. He is viable in almost every arena team, and he will carry you through most of your dark side missions. I would go with Kylo Ren Zeta.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be that guy that says Darth Nihilus. Okay? And hear me out. Okay? He's just got a cool set of tools. He dispels. He has an insta-kill ability. He drains health. He increases cooldowns. There's a lot of things that he does. And if I were to choose like an alternate, I'd go with Zeta Kylo also. I mean, I think they're kind of like neck and neck there.
What level is your Nihilus?
I have him 7-star, Gear 11. I happen to, he's the one character out of all these characters, from like the Cooper pack, the Citadel pack, to all the Sith, to these Phoenix characters. He's the one character that I decided to invest in. Everybody else I've just kind of put I passed on, and I'll eventually get to them.
All right, I like how you guys answered the guy's question. He was asking about for ships as well, and you guys named all non-ship.
I was nervous about ships on the end there.
If you want to go all around, total all around, ships.
Darth Vader.
Vader or Boba Fett. I would go with Vader, though, because he can pretty much do the same thing for Rancor that Kylo does for AAT.
There you go, Vader.
What level is that Vader ship going to be at, though? Because every Vader ship I come across, I can take out so quickly, and then it's just like not even worth putting in there for the other team.
See, I'd actually argue.
I'd say he's viable. I'd say he's viable at 5 stars.
Yeah, because most people don't have access to having starred that ship up. So you come across it, it's like one of the first things you take out. And
not access to it, but it's if the question was just like what ship is the best with the carrier, I'd be like Vader ship. If it's the ship that you need access to easily, you can get fast. Best ship in the game is probably Biggs.
I would say Slave 1 is a little bit better than Big Ship, but that's
I just meant in terms of how fast you can farm it.
Yeah, right.
I think kind of you might have to split that question between light side and dark side. There is a reasonable split between a good comp for that, and you kind of need both factions to be together. Probably Jedi Consular was the initial ship that everyone thought was quite good, and he's still quite good because he just brings your team back up. If you have him come in as reinforcement, the first hit's good, and then he'll give protection back to a couple of ships on his way there as well. And he's easy to get. That's the thing. So probably for ease of use and attainability and all that kind of stuff. Apart from obviously you have to put a few bits of gear on the actual character. In terms of light side, probably Jedi Consular. And in terms of dark side, for ones that are accessible, probably First Order TIE Pilot. Does a lot of damage and works on light side comps as well.
All right. Okay, I think we got that one pretty much. We got that one in the bag. Okay, so that one's pretty much answered now. Let's go ahead and move on to the next question.
This next one, I'm actually curious about myself. It's from Mace Windex. It says, "I have 0 shards for bays. Is there more value in pulling Chirrut shards or saving my fleet currency for Zeta mats?
That's a good question. I mean, listen, some people would say it's a simple answer because I mean, you don't have a base. What would make sense to get Chirrut, but I think you have to look at the main thing is, I mean, Baze and Chirrut are great characters. I mean, they're kind of those characters that you can put on any team and they work. So, like, you can throw a Baze and Chirrut on a Jedi team and they work. You can throw a Baze and Chirrut on a Sith team and they work. Obviously, a Rebel team works. I mean, you can use Baze and Chirrut pretty much anywhere with that health. They do everything, right? They dispel, they heal, they pre-taunt, they counterattack, they call and assist, they do pretty much everything you can do in the game with those two guys. So, I mean, to have them is a great addition to any arena team and any, raid team, really, also. So, having both a Chirrut and a Baze can definitely be a game changer. But again, considering where Baze was put in the hard nodes, okay, and how long it's going to take you to get a 7-star or even a viable Baze at, let's say, 4 or 5 stars, with the distance it's going to take you to farm that. I mean, you're talking about 1 or 2 shards a day if you're a free-to-play player. If you have 0 shards for Baze right now, again, Chirrut is a cool character. I'm not saying don't go for Chirrut. That's going to ultimately be up to you. You can use him without Baze, and he's still good also. But I think if you're really trying to get the benefit of both, you're going to want to hold off and get those Zetas right now, because right now they're the biggest commodity in the game, besides crystals. I'm saying? I mean, you're talking about Zetas, even when you get the challenge, don't come that frequently. So, the Fleet Arena tokens that you get every single day, if you're not farming a must-have character or like must-have ship shards, then I would be going for Zetas every single day that you can until you get yourself a nice stable of Zeted characters, and then you can always make your decision later on. Where I don't think if you have 0 Baze shards at this point that adding a Chirrut by himself is really going to make such a huge difference to your roster that it's going to be a game changer. I think getting those Zetas is going to really help you a lot more. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Remon. If you're not willing to drop a few crystals to get some of his shards, that is a really long farm. Especially if you can't beat that node, that's a really long farm. So I think you're better off with the Zetas as well in that case.
Yeah, I mean, if you're slow burning, then the game almost makes that decision for you because it drops so infrequently in that fleet store for Chirrut thing. So you'll probably, every time it comes around, you'll probably be able to drop a few fleet shipment currency on it and not damage your Zeta hunt too badly. Because I think it's come up 3 times for me, and from people I talked to, it's about the same 2 or 3 times since they've been technically put into that system that it's actually dropped in the store there. So.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I think. So, all right, next question.
All right, this one comes from Wolf Tamer. He asks, should Cassian be your first character you farm with arena currency, followed by Stormtrooper Han for new players? How do you guys rank the arena shipments since all the updates?
That's a really good question. I think there needs to be a new farming guide now because of all the new characters that are available, and that deserves some thought rather than just throwing it out there. But in my opinion, if you're just asking me, to pick somebody off the cuff from arena shipments that would go first, I still don't think Chirrut. I don't think Cassian will be the first place to go. I think you'd be better off farming, either a pilot like Cassian is a pilot, but his ship doesn't exist right now. So I think you'd be better off with getting maybe an Ackbar, or getting a Stormtrooper Han, or getting a Sidious, now that Sidious is kind of relevant again, before you go ahead and get Cassian. Now, if you're trying to get Rebels together, because Rebels, just in general, are such a huge faction in this game, you need them for almost so many different challenges. You need them for the military might events, you need them for the mods, you need them for to get Emperor Palpatine. So you need them for so many different things I think that if you got to go Rebels first, but I don't think Cassian is the first Rebel. I think you go with, like I said, either Ackbar or Han or maybe even maybe even Leia. I think before you go for Cassian, Cassian really he's really cool. I mean, again, his abilities are and his Zeta is really cool too. It adds protection to all the Rebels, but I think he's somebody that you're not going to really take that far ultimately. I mean, eventually that may change, if they add some new things to the game that change that up, because he's got some pretty cool abilities that I've always thought if you added him to like certain teams, he could be like a real great addition because he copies debuffs. But I think that's a very niche thing, and I mean, when you're in the game, you're not trying to find niche cool sandbox arena teams. You're trying to find a solid team that's going to get you started so you can get crystals out of the arena every day, and then eventually once you have a nice sizable roster, at that point you can start playing around with characters like Cassian. That's just my opinion.
I'm definitely with you. I think Admiral Ackbar should still be your number one. He's going to help you early on with ships, being that he is arguably a very useful in almost any situation capital ship, and he's also, as you said, one of those rebels that you need for many different factions of the game.
Yeah, remember, the game does give him to you for free through those ship challenges, so don't unlock them if you guys work on them right out of the gate.
What level do you have to be to unlock ships again?
61.
Okay. Yeah, so if you're farming Ackbar first, yeah, he's right. You'll get a full on of him from the you're still going to get those shards. So I mean, it's like it's 80 shards that you get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you get 80 shards, so no matter what, you're going to get the 80 shards for Ackbar, regardless whether you unlock him or not. But
okay, my bad.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a great character. He's somebody you're going to be able to get the 7 stars with that. But again, you want to focus on Rebels. You want to focus on maybe some Jedi characters to start off with, and you're going to want to focus on characters that can give you a heal, so you can get through Galactic War as well, because you need to finish your Galactic War every day to get that currency, to get more shards as well. So the faster you can get to finishing your Galactic War and placing in the top 50 to top 50 in arena, the better it is. Now, let's next question.
All right, next question comes from Jezza. How would you guys mod Nihilus for Arena? And what teams do you think he fits in on the HAAT?
In my opinion, I think in Arena, I've modded him for offense. Now, I did that initially because my plan was to try out his leader ability, and since he doesn't crit with his leader ability, or the Sith can't crit with his leader ability, I thought it'd be important to make sure he gets a ton of offense. So I gave him an offense set and then I believe a health set as well. So that's the way I went. But if I were not modding him for offense and I was just modding him for, to let's say be on a Darth Maul team, then I would go with crit damage and crit chance, just like anybody else. I mean, I try to get him to hit hard. Offense is also a way to go. I don't think you can really go with anything, go wrong with anything there. You want to give him a lot. A lot of offense when you can, a lot of speed, of course, just like every other character. And what was the other part of the question? It's like what are the teams? The P4.
What phase?
I think he could work well with a bunch of different teams. Some people have tried him out in different phases as like an additional character, like in phase 2 or phase 4. I tried him with like a Zeta Maul in like phase 2, and we did some damage. But I mean, I don't think the formulas for those phases of the world are much figured out at this point. I mean, I think you know that in phase 4 with the clones, you're going to get the most out of that phase. I think in phase 2 with the droids, you're going to get a lot from them, and some other teams there too. I mean, the Rebels, things like that. I think go ahead.
I think you could arguably make him viable in phase 3, Honestly, with all those droids, if you can get some debuffs up, especially with a Palpatine, you could annihilate every 2 turns or so. I mean, if it's doing a large enough percentage to compensate for whoever you're subbing him in for, I think that could end up being viable. Besides that, though, like you were saying, I think 2, 4, 1 are pretty much set. Maybe 3 he could wiggle in, though.
That makes sense, actually. I didn't even think about that. With all an instant cooldown reduction for him to, one annihilate, you know what I mean? Because there's so many droids out there. That's a good thought. I didn't think about that. Okay, next question, Maurice. Let's keep it
All right,
rolling.
guys. Yeah, this is one all of you guys can answer. Who would you guys recommend to put your first Zeta on?
First Zeta on.
Kylo.
Yeah, I'd say Kylo. That's my opinion. Kylo, or if you're going for like a leader ability, I'd say Darth Maul.
Kylo, but if you have the clones, if you have all the clones, I'd go for Cody if you want to cause big raid damage.
Yeah, Cody's leader, and Zeta's great too.
Only if you have all the clones. Disclaimer. So
I would argue Barris as well, because again, Barris can be fitted into many different ones. It's her unique, so many different builds could benefit from her.
That's another one. Yeah, Barris is very unique.
or Darth Sidious. Most unique abilities are the ones you want to. You said leader ability though, right, Maurice?
No, he was just saying, and for the first Zeta, so
Just
to
the
be leader.
Zeta.
Yeah.
Oh, just the first Zeta.
What are your thoughts, Jackie?
Well, I have only ever Zetaed one character, and that is Darth Vader. So.
Pretty cool.
I has his uses, but I think you're pretty much using him in Rancor, and I think he's got better options everywhere else. That's kind of why I would pick Kylo, for the reasons I talked about him earlier.
What about you, Omega? What do you think?
Well, I think Zeta's the best for me. I use him to solo the Rancor. I use him in Phase 2. I'm using him in Arena and holding top 20. So, it's paid off pretty big for me.
Awesome. All right, let's go on to the next question.
All right, this one comes from Chili Dog. Should he focus on his Resistance team to get the T3 Speed Mod challenge completed? Or how important are the Speed Mod sets over finishing Clones, Rebels, or another good light side team?
I actually made a video about this, and you can check it out. But the Resistance challenge is the hardest one, and it'll actually take more resources than any of the other ones. But I think speed mods are pretty important, and finishing all the challenges, just feels like you want to get that stuff done, right?
Well, is he asking that instead of another type of mod, or just like he has all the other mods already, and this is the last one?
I think what he's asking is, are speed mods important enough to bypass finishing like the Clones or the Rebels or some other faction just to get the speed mods?
I'd say yes. Because speed is always going to be a thing, no matter what. Right, at some point, there'll be there's always going to be metas, like there's anti-crit metas, anti-dodge metas. There's never going to be an anti-speed meta. You know what I'm saying? Except the only thing that was ever anti-speed was pre-taunt. Like with Short Trooper and Baze. But even then, speed is still important. So I think that you're always going to need speed, and a mod that can give you increased speed or more speed than any other type of mod is going to be the speed sets. So yeah, I would say it makes sense to go for it, but not at the cost of screwing up any current plans that you have. So like if you're already working on the arena team, or you're already working on something specific that you've been working on for a while, I would finish that first and then go for the mods. The mods are always going to be there, okay? But
I can offer a good tip on clearing that challenge is to maybe just pick one of the Resistance characters that you're going to want to use, maybe like a Poe Dameron if you're using him in your ship fleet, and use that character to kind of carry you through that challenge. Just beef him up and get him strong.
The main thing to understand about that challenge is that, right, so she's just going to knock no matter what. It's based on RNG. You're going to have to try it a few times, and she's, you can maybe stun her or, incapacitate her, ability block her, something where she's not going to knock out one of your characters. If you can get her to not go in that final battle, then you're probably going to be okay. But again, if she gets the chance to use one of her specials on one of your characters, they're probably not going to make it.
Yeah, I think he was having problems with that the 9 hard nodes, and if you do go all in on resistance and put the Zeta on Finn, you can beat all those pretty easily.
Yeah, I agree. All right, any more questions?
Let's see, we got the Zeta. Yeah, we've got one more here.
Okay.
This one's from Vlad. He's asking, what teams is Dooku viable with after the rework?
Dooku, after the rework, is viable, obviously, with a Zeta Maul team. I think he's viable with a Zader team, and I think he's really viable with a Zader team because, he gets to attack twice. So, there's a chance that he can do double turn meter reduction, which is pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, if you're facing if you're on a shard with a ton of Zeta Maul teams, a Zader team is not going to do it right now because they're just not fast enough to compete. Nothing is fast enough than that turn meter gain at the beginning with the Maul Zeta is just insane. It just gives them such a boost that, you can make a Palpatine 220 speed and it's really like 270, 280 speed, So it's like, it's just, it's tough to compete against that, but I'm saying he could be viable in, I'd say, a Zader team, probably of course, a Darth Maul, and also
the most obvious one, which is Darth Nihilist, where he heals indefinitely.
Right. Yeah, right. And Darth Nihilist lead, and I think he also works in a counter team. If you're using, let's say, I'm a Gundy or something like that. There was another question I saw here in the chat for clone P4 question. It says, any advice whatsoever? Is there a set order to attack? In what sort of mods should I pre-farm for each troop? What gear level do they become viable? This will help me choose my next Zeta.
So I'm one of the few people that have actually run full clone teams for a long time. P4 with a clone team. Obviously you're running, Leia as your fifth. You're going to be running, Cody lead Zeta. You're going to be running fives. If you can get them Zeta, that's great. You're going to be running, Sarge and Echo. You're going to basically kick out, Rex for Leia to join the P4 team. From a mod standpoint, it's actually pretty simple with the difference between all the clones. Your Cody is going to need to be the fastest one because you're wanting to do his 2-2 attack as much as fast as possible. So getting him as close to or over 215, 220 speed is critical because that way he can run that thing as fast as possible. You're going to want, Sarge to do as much damage, so you want to feed him with as much either offense or crit damage. All of the clones you're going to want to have close to 50%, crit chance. And then, just Sarge is your biggest damage dealer along with Leia. So with those two, you want to have as much, offense as you can, as well as crit damage to 216. You don't need to have Sarge fast. You don't need to have Echoes fast. You don't need to have Fives fast. You have to have Cody and Leia fast in order to make P4 viable to do as much damage, and then as much crit chance and crit damage that you can get with those. With the rest of the team to flesh that out is really the main from a mod standpoint.
Excellent. That's great advice, and I agree. I think that. There's with the clones, there's definitely stuff to. We have a friend that also makes videos, make great clone team as well, and he's He's got lots of content on that, so you should check out his channel too if you have questions about the. So he's done pretty much everything you can do with them. So, yeah, I mean, if that's it for the questions, I have one more question here. Keyboard asked me, cats or dogs, Raymond? My question, my answer to that question is, if it's Darktron's cat, cats. Okay, that's what I say. Throw it in the ocean. But no, seriously though, again, guys, thank you so much for checking us out. Our first live stream ends up being a success. Yay. To everybody here that was on the show today, thank you so much. Entire panel. Again, we had Cheeky here. We got, Lotion, good old Maurice, McLeod. We got Omega Shenron on here, Martha. And the whole crew, Darktron, and if I'm excluding anybody here, I'm sorry, but we
and Champy, what the heck, Raymond?
Champ.
So Champy, and also Panda's in here just kind of listening.
Lucky.
Just kind of being a creepo, but we all appreciate that. We all appreciate that he's probably doing some sort of hoodoo. But I mean. Again, guys, we're going to be doing this every week, Friday at 8:30 Eastern Time, okay? Again, we just launched our Alliance website. It's called www.thealliancegaming.com. You'll find links to our Discord there, as well as all of our guides, and we have tons of blogs and different types of advice, who to farm, links to a lot of the Alliance content creators, YouTube channels, all that great stuff. And of course, you guys know I do create content myself, so you'll find links to my videos and some of the other people here on the panel as well that create their own content. And if you guys want to join a guild, like I said, the Alliance has over 40 guilds. I believe we have over 10 guilds doing AAT raids, or heroic AAT raids, and we're looking to add more guilds and add more players. So come on over to thealliancegaming.com and follow the instructions over into our Discord to come check us out. We're going to go ahead and have an after party for the show in the Alliance Discord. Whether you want to be a part of the guild or not, or a part of the community or not, you're more than welcome to come join us there just to chat anytime you like. Okay, it's an open Discord. Everybody's welcome. So again, go to the www.thealliancegaming.com. Follow the instructions into our Discord channel to come chat with us after the show. We're all going to be in the Mos Eisley Cantina, just chatting it up for a while, answering questions. I'm sure we'll give out some ally codes and things like that. But come back and check us out again next week. Same time, same place. Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, I appreciate everybody coming out to see us tonight. And we'll see you guys on the next one. May the force be with you guys.